Would you like to know what questions to ask in your next interview? You've come to the right place because in today's video, I'm going to share with you some key questions to ask that'll help you get the job you want. Watch this video to the end to learn the 4 best questions to ask in your next interview. Hi, welcome to this channel. My name is Jo Randolph and I'm a branding consultant, and I help women become experts and leaders in the field they care about most. If you want to watch videos on how you can brand yourself and get your next job and increase your income, come and join us and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. Anyways, let's get right into this. The fact that you're watching this video tells me that you have an interview coming up. If you do, congratulations. And you're wondering what questions to ask, because chances are when you have an interview and someone says, "Do I have any questions?" you're out of ideas. Now the challenge is that when you don't ask questions, you miss an opportunity to do 2 things. One, which is to show the person that's interviewing you that you're diligent. When you ask really good questions, it makes them think that you are thinking, that you aren't desperate for any job, but rather you're trying to find the right job for you. And candidates that seem a little bit hard to get always seem much more valuable than candidates who seem like they will take any job whatsoever. The second thing that asking questions does is that it actually helps you get the intel you need to best perform in your interview and get the best job offer possible, including salary, which actually plays into your negotiation later. So the more intel you have, the easier it is for you to give the right answers to the question, and also the easier it is for you to articulate and communicate why they should pay you X amount when you're negotiating your salary. So those are kind of the key things that asking questions can do for you. It's not something to just say to kind of kill time. One question to ask, which I've always asked and I always recommend to all of my friends and all of my clients and all of my course students, which is, what are your goals and what challenges do you have in achieving these goals? This is a really helpful question to ask, because when you know what the company's aims and goals are, you can kind of figure out how you fit into it. You can figure out what you need to do in order to help them win. So kind of imagine a football team. I'm only mentioning this because I used to play football for Chelsea. A football team, their goal is to win, and not just to win, but they want to win the season, they want to win the league. And it doesn't matter whether you're playing basketball, football, cricket, whatever, you want to win the league. So that would be a goal. Understanding this can help you figure out what you need to do personally within a team of people to actually help the company grow and achieve their objectives. And the challenges that the company has also helps you figure out the ideas to help them overcome these challenges. Now, if you can actually communicate in your answers that not only do you have ideas for how they can achieve their goals, but you also have ideas for how to overcome their challenges, then you'll look like someone who can be a really great asset for their team. Another question to ask is, can you think of examples of high performers within your organization? I'd love to hear about why they are a high performer. When you're asking this question, you're essentially finding out who the company values, the type of person that does really well in this organization. When they are giving you this answer, they're basically telling you their ideal employee. Now, this can work out for you in 2 ways. One is that you can use it as a checklist to see, do I tick the boxes of their ideal employee? And 2, you can also use it to communicate things that are true for you. So for example, she's really great with a client. She helps solve client issues really well. She's magnificent with managing our budgets and really keeping a tight ship running, whatever it is. I'm just using like a really lame example. But let's say, for example, they love Becca. Okay, Becca is the beep. You know what I mean? Like, she's just amazing. You can think about, oh, okay, I'm good at client services, I'm good at budgeting, I'm good at these things. And if you're good at those things, then you can essentially play those things up in the interview. Now, the other thing is that if they say something like, oh, Becca, she's amazing because she like never goes home, she lives in this office, she works, 20 hours a day. If they say that, then you might be thinking, okay, this is a red flag, because they value people who don't have a personal life, who don't have a social life. And if that's not you, if you have a family, if you have other commitments, and if that's not you, then you'll know that that's not the right fit for you anyway. So that's a really helpful question to ask. Now, another question to ask, depending on who you talk to. So if you're talking to HR, you can ask a question like, what's your employee turnover rate? Do you have lots of people leaving? Do you have lots of people coming? I just kind of want to get a sense of what the culture is like at your organization. Now, this can be a tricky question to ask, but if you ask it in kind of a more curious way, rather than making an accusation, then you can get some insight as to the rate in which people are leaving. Now, this is great for finding a red flag. And if they say, why do you want to know? Just say that you really want to work in an organization that you want to stay at long term, and that you're really interested in staying there long term. And you kind of want to get an idea of whether other people within the organization do stay there long term. And if that is the case, they'll say, yeah, of course, we have lots of people that stay here long term. And if it's not the case, then maybe it's not a bad thing, because the question is, would you really want to work at a company where the turnover is high and everybody leaves within 6 months or a year? Maybe not. But if you're uncomfortable with asking it that way, you can ask something else, such as, how long have people been working here on average? And that gives you an idea that this company has a high-ish turnover rate. And then the last question you can ask is, what concerns do you have about me, my experience, my skills? I'd love to know. Now, this is an excellent question to ask. And the reason for this is that, one, is that it makes you appear self-aware. You are aware of your strengths, and you also want to learn about your weaknesses and what you can do. I'll give you an example. So one time I was hiring someone. I'm not going to mention anything about this story because I'm just not going to, but point is that I had a job description that needed to be filled. And this person I was talking to on the phone, everything seemed fine until randomly in the call, they said, oh, there is this one problem that I have, and is this okay with you? And it wasn't okay with me, but I didn't want to say to this person during the interview that it wasn't okay with me. So in my mind, I had decided, okay, this isn't going to work, this isn't the right person, and I was just going to say no and move on to the next candidate. However, at the end of the interview, I said, do you have any questions for me? And she brilliantly said, do you have any concerns about me? I mean, if you have the concern about my problem, I'd really like the opportunity for us to discuss it and see if we can find a way to make it work. Now, when she said that, I was like, oh, now I really do need to address it. And by addressing it, we were able to find a way to make it work. Now, in the end, I ended up hiring someone else because of other reasons. But the point is that by asking them to share their concerns, it gives you the opportunity to kind of convince them to change their mind. That really helps you to kind of squash their myths or misconceptions about you. Anyways, that is it. Those are my tips for questions you can ask in your interview. I wish you the best of luck in your interview. I am sure you will be amazing, and you are gonna get your job, and you're gonna just absolutely love your new job, and you're gonna get your job in no time. And if you want to learn how to do this, you can simply order my Get Your Dream Job course. The link is in the description box below. Or you can sign up for the free version of the course and learn the key steps for getting your new job. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall see you again next week. All right, bye. It's a question to ask, but if you ask it in kind of a more curious way rather than an accusatory, rather than making an accusation, let me just say that, whatever. Making an accusation,